On the road in the city that never sleeps, or a city they say they so nice they named it twice. Regardless, the last time Washington was there was back at the beginning of the year. They got a win against the Knicks, 116-105. Tonight, that coin would flip. Washington, without their big three, would fall to the New York Knicks, 118-109. Corey Kispert drops 29 to lead all scorers in the game. 3 Wizards scorers off the bench in double figures as well. But albeit in a loss, a lot to break down here on Postgame Live. Coach Patsos here with you all night long. Chase Hughes will be joining us a little bit later. So, Coach, let's start this off as we always do. I want your inside perspective on what we witnessed. Most importantly, the disappointing third quarter.
It was a tough third quarter, and the 18 turnovers, Wes Hall and his staff are going to circle and say, that's what cost us the game. However, really, there were some good things going on there. Johnny Davis, 16. Corey Kispert's just turned into a regular scorer. Yeah. He started the game left-hand layup, step back, 3 off the catch, 3 over there, moving all around without the ball, in transition. Corey Kispert is just an efficient, really good scorer. We talked to Chase Hughes about how he's turned into a draft pick. Like, that's a grade of A. For the 15th pick 2 years ago, he's been outstanding, and he keeps getting better, okay? Jordan Goodwin is showing his toughness. He's kind of like a power guard, getting rebounds. I like that. And remember, you're talking about their young guys are Grimes, Quickly, and Obi Toppin. Now, they have like a year up on our young guys. Mm-hmm. But we want to, and our young guys battled their young guys because there was no Barrett, no Randall. Well, we had 4 starters out. DeLon Wright was steady. You know, Denny's got to find himself. These next 4 games are important for Denny. He's always going to play hard, always gives you rebounding and defense. I want to see if his offense can get going a little bit. But Corey Kispert is turning into, we shot 50% from the field and 40-something% from the 3. Corey Kispert's leading the way. This guy, 29 points. I mean, there were people last year in Summer League that weren't really sure his first year if he was the right pick. He was clearly the right pick, and the future's very bright, and that's a position. It's nice to have. Not only could he be a starting 2 guard, but if your full lineup's intact, he's your 6th man. This guy's rolling towards those numbers are 6th man of the year numbers.
Yes. I love what Corey Kispert's been able to do.
So you got to be fired up about that.
You have to. I mean, look, he knocked down. Let's see what he did tonight. 4 from 11 from deep. Knocked down all of his shots from the free throw line as well. You're seeing that this game, and we've seen this happen a couple of games here recently, where guys kind of. All right, tonight's your night. Go do your thing. You have no big 3 in front of you. The road's wide open. Take it where you will.
Meaningful minutes.
Right.
We were fighting for our playoff lives the last 2 games. And I had 29 points and 27 points.
You're looking at Jordan Goodwin with 11 points. Taj Gibson, old and ready, decides that he wants to light it up from deep. Coach,
it's got to be.
But something about seeing a team that you're quite familiar with.
And he was talking a little bit to the other team's bench, which I like that.
What does it do for young guys to be able to share the court out there with a guy like Taj Gibson, who, again, former Knick as well, New York native as well, and a former USC Trojan? We'll mention that just because it's fun.
Wes.
But, you know, what does it feel for the young guys to see him out there fighting and competing at a late stage in the season as well?
I like to see him playing with fun and passion and having enthusiasm, but also teaching these guys, like, for instance, Johnny Davis, who just had that's a nice drive and a pass by Johnny. And there's the young guys hitting him too. I'm sure they love being around him. You know, Chris Miller calls him old and ready, but he's a veteran guy.
Yeah.
He's earned that respect, and he doesn't have to, you know, he's not a yeller. You heard Drew say he's kind of a quiet leader, lead by example. Look, I'm from New York. I got highly recruited. I went to USC in the NCAA tournament, too. I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I've been around the league. You can either follow me and learn, and if you don't want to learn, then I won't force it down your throat. But leading by example and then producing in those valuable minutes that he gets, he just takes what he gets, and then he produces. But hitting 4 threes, having some fun out there, and showing these guys, like Denny, you can do a lot of little things, but you have to have a really positive attitude like himself, because sometimes I think Denny gets down on himself. Corey Kispert, you can tell, likes Taj Gibson.
Yes.
You know? He's probably been super important for Johnny Davis, who was really hard on himself. He wasn't playing well at all, really wasn't getting any minutes. He's gotten better this last month. So I think Taj Gibson and Gill are great guys to have. But Taj Gibson also has a nice NBA resume.
Absolutely. I mean, the most important part about that influence that he has on the young guys is being that savvy veteran. And it's hard to be a veteran in a league that only allows the best 450 on the planet to actually put on the jersey on the hardwood. And it's, of course, him being, you know,
and he's always available.
Always. He's cool with it. But what I love about it is that his toughness and his grit, it's contagious. Guys like Jordan Goodwin, we were talking about it when you and I were watching the game, that Jordan has this kind of just, what did you say? What did you say?
Call him kind of a power guard, but he brought up he was a St. Louis, he rebounded. he's a St. Louis kid, really. He's from Illinois, but he's right over the border from St. Louis. Tough kid, but he'll get rebounds, and he's learning this way too. Quentin Grimes had to learn. Quickly's turning into a score. Like Quickly and Corey Kispert, this is a playoff team, New York.
Yeah.
You want to be like the playoff teams. We're starting to mold guys in that same sense, you know? And Denny's going to be like Obi Toppin, where it might have to take a little minutes. That's why it was good to see those young guys go at it. And they can fit around the veterans and help you win. But these are meaningful, valuable minutes. The next 4 games are very important. I don't believe in tanking. I don't care about any of that stuff. These are real NBA minutes. But this last couple of weeks, we were fighting for our playoff lives. I'm sad. I want to go to the playoffs, too. Love it. I feel for the coaches and Tommy. Everyone in that organization wants to go to the playoffs. They just beat a full Celtics team when I was with you by 30.
Yes, that was a great game.
They had the magic beat. They had a fourth quarter, you know, Paolo Banchero and them are playing better. But they're right there if you stay healthy, but you need that secondary team. And I think the Kispert, the Goodwin, if Denny can play either position that way, they're going to have another draft pick coming up. I love DeLon Wright. But you need to stay healthy. We had 4 starters out.
Yeah, well, Coach, and I'm sitting here looking, for those who keep wondering what I'm looking down at, it's a box score from the first half when the Wizards were up 61-53, and I'm looking at a shooting 55% from the field, 50% from behind the arc, 100% from the charity stripe.
None had 11. I must have got hurt. He didn't play in the second half.
We'll give you more info on that as we get it. But the reason I'm looking at it is because we're talking about these late-stage games and opportunities that young guys are afforded. Corey Kispert had 20 in the first half, Coach, alone. These guys know I have the freedom to do it. As a coach yourself, when you know the circumstances that we're dealing with, the realities as they are, what are you telling these young guys when they're able to say, all right, the big 3 guys on the top of the roster, they're not playing tonight. What do I do, Coach?
Oh, I thought they played with we were competing. You know, energy, enthusiasm, excitement, but also executing. This isn't like just mess around time, basketball. You're playing the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. It's a full house in there. You know, they're a playoff team. They just beat the Cavs. They just won 3 in a row. That's Jalen Brunson out there. Okay, R.J. Barrett's not there and Randall. They're executing and playing well, but just short an offensive weapon. The thing about the Wizards is the big 3, they're not just the big 3 for a reason. They're all really good offensive players. It's not like one of them's a shot blocker or one of them's like a point guard distributor that you can like replace. You got Real Deal Beal, 3-time All-Star, Porzingis the unicorn, and Kuzma but those are 3 scorers.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot of points.
Those are 3 scorers. So someone else has to help Corey Kispert score. But we're finding out who can do it. Quentin Jackson, tell us about him.
Oh, well, Quentin Jackson, again, Texas A&M, and by the way, another Los Angeles guy as well. The motor that Q-Jack has on the court, I love that. There was a time when he went and scored a bucket and just due to rotation into the sitting down, and Drew and Chris were talking about the look on Quentin's face while he was sitting there. He never doesn't want to be in the game.
He went to the go-go, took him to the playoffs, and you're around him. What's he like as a guy?
Competitive. I mean, like super competitive, but does the work. He follows direction. He understands, all right, Tommy's like, hey, this is what you need to do to elevate your game. And now you see, he started off with the go-go, ended up getting a 2-way contract. And this move right here that he had on Jalen Brunson, the crossover right there at the nail.
On Mitchell Robinson. That's what I mean about meaningful minutes against real players.
This is what you want from a guy like that. No fear. Go out there and have it. Show people what you got.
And he's happy here, right, Wes?
Yes, he's happy. Because this is a place like everybody knows you go where you are celebrated, right? Not tolerated, celebrated. And Quentin is celebrated.
Undrafted.
Come on, Coach, lay it down for the people. That's the kind of guy you want to have on your team. He's got a quick motor. He's athletic as all get out. And the fact that he's got bounce for his size, I think he's got like bird bones, because when he jumps, he's flying. And that's what you want to have for a guy. Looking at the last 4 games of the season, what do you want to see him do more of down the stretch?
Well, you want to see, once again, I just tarped on this before, you need some more, the scoring has to come from somewhere. And I want to see these last 4. And then I want to see a good summer league. You know me, I love summer league.
Hey, buddy, let's go to Vegas.
All 5, but the
let's
first
go to Vegas,
couple
Coach.
matter.
I'm ready for Vegas.
Oh, yeah, we're out there.
Hey,
We're going to be out there. It's going to be great. So can Quentin Jackson take that into – some teams are more involved in the summer league than others. I think the Wizards use it to experiment and get some minutes. I want to see Johnny Davis last year. He wasn't ready in the summer league. I think there was a lot on him, you know. A lot of bright lights, he's having his first baby. A lot of stuff was going on in Johnny Davis's life, not making excuses.
Yeah,
but
facts.
He did this in high school, he did it in AAU, and he did it at Wisconsin. It took him a little while. These are big 4 games for him.
Yes, they are.
Johnny, Quentin, you're taking this, and then you're going to go summer league, and that's probably our start. That's probably me, my starting backcourt.
Yep.
You know, in the summer league. Maybe Jay Huff if you want to keep him. But Xavier Cooks, who didn't get to play, we've signed him.
Yeah.
I know he's a little older, but I might have him. But you guys in this next 4 games, and then in the offseason, you have to continue to get better. Like Kispert doesn't have to play in any of that stuff. And I know these 4 games, Yes, we're out of the playoffs, but so what? They're really important. By the way, I think you're playing the Bucks, who won it 2 years ago.
Yeah, Bucks, Hawks.
Rockets, we want to win because we want to be better than them.
Yes,
right?
yes, and Miami as well. We got
and
4
Miami,
games.
a playoff team with Jimmy Butler and crew, so you want to let them know you're coming too. Awesome opportunity, go at it, but energy, incitement, enthusiasm. I thought they were great. The first half was an outstanding effort against a playoff team on the road. Just kind of ran out of gas in that third quarter. And Kispert, let's face it, the Knicks. Everybody knows Tibbs is a good defensive coach. I think he might have wrote the 20 on the board at halftime, Wes.
Just saying, it was like, hey, whatever we're doing, he ain't doing that no more.
One or two guys get written on. I think the Knicks took that challenge and said, so now we have to find someone else to help Corey Kispert grow.
Let's see, I love it. Everybody's always next man up. Next man up. You want to be, got 3 out, who's ahead of the snake? It keeps growing and growing and growing. We're going to talk turnovers, too, because that was a bit of a problem tonight.
Monte Morris hurts that a little.
I know. We're going to fix it. But you know what? We're also going to talk about this guy right here, Daniel Gafford, the landlord. I don't care what city, state, or borough he is in. Don't go into his house. He will evict you.